I'm willing to bet that the people at Twitter are salivating right now. That censorship lawyer, which makes $100 million per year, has found religion. She is praying that the deal won't go through. Thunderfoot is over the moon. He's probably going to make 45 videos about this. And I see a lot of people on Twitter saying that, oh, Elon was never serious. Like, he planned for this. I don't think you understand what a $40 billion deal entails. I mean, there's contracts that are signed. If he backs out without a reasonable clause, he would take a lot of losses. And this, to me, does seem like a reasonable clause. I mean, look, I know people who check the order at McDonald's, and we're talking about a couple of bucks there. And if the order isn't accurate, they want a refund. Why on earth do you think that when someone purchases something for $40 billion, they're not going to complain if they're not getting what was advertised? So Elon wants to get away from the ad revenue business model because there's no way you can have free speech and have advertisers on your platform. There's already an unholy alliance which went public. I think it was between Obama, George Soros, and other democratic groups that were trying to pressure advertisers to back away from Twitter if free speech is allowed. So no, like, you can't use the AdSense business model, and instead what you can do is what he suggested, a paid subscription. So pretty much like Discord, I guess. If you want to have like special perks on Twitter, you get to have the paid subscription, and you can make money by having the subscribers pay for it. Like, that makes sense. He had his people crunch the numbers to make sure that it's feasible. But if more than 5% of people on Twitter happen to be bots and spam, then obviously those numbers don't hold out. So now he's going to have to recalculate them. And probably it's not worth $40 billion. So he wants to see just how many people on Twitter happen to be false accounts. And Twitter has been in hot water before by lying about the number of users it's having. They say it was a technical error. I think it was bullshit. The reason they would lie is because then they can charge advertisers to pay more. So you lie to the company that's advertising with you, saying, oh, well, it's going to be 229 million potential people that are going to see it, when in fact it could be 150. But Twitter said, oh no, like, it was a technical error, we managed to get the numbers wrong, and it's probably what they're going to say now. But there might be a clause in the contract which depends on the number of users that Twitter is having, and if it's more than 5% that are false users, then the deal may either fall and Twitter is going to have to pay Elon damages for it, or they can renegotiate, probably pay less than $40 billion. Again, this can mean anything. Like, it can mean that Elon will renegotiate and still buy Twitter. It can mean that the number might still be below 5%. Or it can mean that Elon can back out. I mean, at this point, everything is on the table. But if it happens that the number is more than 5%, like a lot more, like let's say 30 or 35% of the accounts on Twitter are bots and spam, like, this will destroy Twitter's reputation. Their stocks are going to completely plummet. It's going to be a bloodbath. And I think they would want to sell in that situation. So they're going to renegotiate, and Elon will probably pay less. But the thing is, right, I know that there's a lot of spam and bots on Twitter. Like, for example, and no one talks about this, like the media refuses to talk about it. But I remember quite clearly that when the pandemic happened, because that's what I realized, just holy shit, there's so many bots. When the pandemic happened, you had a lot of people just spamming politicians, blue check mark saying, if only we can save one life, the economy doesn't matter. And they had like the same text. I didn't save it, but like there were pages after pages after pages of bots that said the same thing. And then when Boris Johnson in the UK decided to reopen the economy, you had the exact same bots going like, reopening the economy is a dangerous mistake, so many people died and blah, blah, blah. Those were bots. Like hundreds of accounts with different names posting the exact same message. And then you look at certain politicians that I will not name on YouTube that have over 18 million subscribers, and when they post something, they get very little engagement. They get like 1,000, maybe 1,500 comments. And I'm thinking, like, how does that make sense? Like, if you got 18 million people subscribed to you, how is it that when you post something, you get like 1,000 or 1,500 engagements? Right? Now, it would make sense that, let's say, some of the people subscribed and then they stopped using Twitter or they stopped following. Okay. But, like, this is something that I have seen with a lot of accounts that have, like, a massive number of subscribers, and when they post something, barely any engagement. Like, that is very bizarre. So, yeah, there's a lot of bots on Twitter, and I'm willing to bet there's two types. The first type of bot is the inactive ones, which are just trying to generate clout and pretend that a politician or a journalist has a lot more followers than they actually do. And the second type of bots are the far-left bots. And the reason I think they're far-left is, first of all, right-wingers, they don't really use Twitter that much. Most right-wingers that I know, they use Telegram. I mean, it goes without saying. Why would you use a platform that actively suppresses you? And secondly, the far-left bots, they serve the purpose into persuading moderate left-wing, if you can call them like that, but like moderate left-wing politicians, that either their positions aren't popular and they should veer more to the left, or that more fringe far-left positions are more popular than they already are. So yeah, I am willing to put down money on a bet that the overwhelming majority of active bots are far-left. They're not Russian, they're not right-wing, and this is just based on what I see on Twitter, and I've been using this platform for quite a while now. But I do hope that the deal goes through. I mean, the last couple of weeks have been pretty honky. The absolute meltdown that progressives have had over the fact that people may be able to talk with each other without a chaperone guarding over them has been absolutely sublime. No, I don't think that Elon Musk planned for this. Again, we're talking about $40 billion. There's probably already pre-contracts that have been signed, and I do think this might be a violation from Twitter, because they said that there's fewer than 5% of people that are creating duplicate or bot accounts, and they might have figured out that it's a lot more than 5. So Twitter might actually have to pay damages for this. But it is what it is. I guess we'll see. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and there's a link down there in the comments, a pinned one, which hopefully I will remember to place this time, because I'm really bad at shilling myself. This is why I don't take sponsors. Like, if I can't shill myself, how can I shill other people? And the link there is going to take you to a place that gives you the opportunity to get some buyer's remorse. In other words, you can support my channel. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.